So next up, we have Washington Sanchez, who is core developer of OpenBazaar and co-founder of OB1, and he'll be talking about integrating Ethereum into OpenBazaar. Welcome. Backward, forward, and then the lightning.
Backward, forward.
And then this is the one.
All right. Okay, wonderful. So I'm Washington, or Dr. Washo on Twitter, as you may know me. Thank you for all being here on a Saturday afternoon. It's a bit rough, but the focus of my talk is upon integrating Ethereum into OpenBazaar, and it's more of a consumer application focus. So let's start. So some of you may not know what OpenBazaar is. It's a dApp, but it's a non-Ethereum dApp. And it's a decentralized marketplace where you can buy and sell goods and services for any cryptocurrency. So it started in 2014 as a fork of Dark Market. Dark Market was the hackathon project of the ever-colorful Amir Taki, and also worked on by members of Airbits, who are now called Edge Wallet. So after Amir said that he wasn't going to be doing anything more with Dark Market, Brian Hoffman talked with him and forked the project and created OpenBazaar. So the rename to OpenBazaar was also representative of a branding change to be a more generalized marketplace project and not so much focused on Dark Market, well, what Dark Market was focused on, which was illicit goods and services. So we worked in 2014 on OpenBazaar for a year in our spare time, and then we were very fortunate at the beginning of 2015 to receive venture capital funding from USV and A16Z. And so what we focus on in OB1 as a company is OpenBazaar development and also building hopefully profitable consumer applications and services for OpenBazaar users. So between 2014 and 15, the OpenBazaar experience was pretty rough. You basically, it was a self-hosted store that you ran, and it was very loosely connected on a peer-to-peer network. There was no redundancy at all. So if you turned off your computer or struck by lightning, that's it. Nobody can access your store, nobody can make any purchases. It was written in Python, which nothing against Python, but it makes building binaries on multiple operating systems very difficult. And it was Bitcoin only, especially at the time when we were starting. Bitcoin's dominance was really unquestioned, and it had terrible discovery. So we really spent a lot of time trying to make it better, but eventually we got to the point where we rebuilt OpenBazaar 2.0 from the ground up, and we rebuilt it using IPFS. And using IPFS, IPNS, and libp2p, we basically got to the stage where we had that kind of redundancy that you expect from a peer-to-peer network. So now you have offline availability of data and asynchronous messaging, which means that now when you create a listing or you publish something to the network, you can turn off your computer, you can walk away, and not only can you receive chat messages from your potential customers, but you can actually receive orders, and next time you go online, it pulls all of those messages from the network, and you can proceed with your transaction. It's written in Go, and the emoji failed, but it's a love heart emoji because we absolutely love Go. Really easy to compile binaries for other operating systems and mobile. And we also created an open third-party search specification so other people can build search. Now, at this stage, it was still Bitcoin only. So 2016, still Bitcoin. And then towards the end of 2017, we had a problem. Bitcoin transaction fees kind of went absolutely crazy. And while other people were like popping the champagne and saying this is amazing, we were like deeply troubled by the fact that you couldn't really use Bitcoin for payments, especially when your on-chain fee exceeds the value of the item that you want to purchase on the network. So we spent the better part of 2018 focusing on refactoring the wallet so it will become a multi-currency wallet. So in the event of like really high fees, you can switch over to another currency with lower on-chain fees. And so at the moment, it accepts Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, and Bitcoin Cash just to start off with, and we can support a lot more. And Q3 and 4, we started work on refactoring the wallet so that it also accepts Ethereum payments and ERC20 tokens, which I'll talk about in just a sec. But one thing I just wanted to quickly show, next week we'll be launching the latest version of OpenBazaar, and if some of you who have used OpenBazaar 2.0 for some time, you may have remembered that opening and fetching content from the network was a little bit of a slow process. It took like 30, 60 seconds and had a high failure rate. Well, we just finished some optimizations that increased the speed by like 100, by 100 times, and the success rate of fetching content is like really great. So that's coming out next week, and we're also working on a web version of OpenBazaar, so you'll be able to run a full node in the browser. So a lot of people ask us, how much volume is OpenBazaar doing? And the answer is we don't really know. I mean, it's by design a decentralized and private marketplace. We don't know what is being bought and sold between buyers and sellers, and that's a great thing. But we do have some peripheral stats. We know that there's about 400 to 600 new nodes on the network daily. There's about 120,000 nodes being created in total, and we've just had tens of thousands of listings. Now to the good bit, which is we've forsaken the Ethereum community for so long, and that time is over. So towards the end of last year, we started in earnest to get Ethereum integrated into OpenBazaar, and that really takes on two parts. The first part is integrating it into the actual network, like into the code, and that's refactoring the OpenBazaar Go server and the wallet interface to make it more currency agnostic and friendly to account-based cryptocurrencies, because it had a very heavy dependence on UTXO cryptocurrencies. The second one was to build a Go Ethereum wallet that was compatible with our wallet interface. So we've done all that hard work, it's all done, and it's getting ready to be merged into master. So if you do want to help us out, you can head over to the GitHub and take a look at those 3 open pull requests and check it out and help us. But this doesn't only just help us get Ethereum integrated into OpenBazaar, it also helps us get ready to potentially accept Monero and other like layer 2 payment systems, which is either Bitcoin's Lightning Network or Plasma, Gluon, Sharding, Raiden, whatever that you guys come up with that is pretty exciting. So the other half of integrating Ethereum into OpenBazaar has to do with the way payments are made. So as a quick primer, there are 2 ways to do payments on OpenBazaar. You can either do a direct transaction, which is you would send your Bitcoin to a seller and you would hope that they would send you the good or service. And it's only really suitable for trusted relationships or where the brand is very strong and you trust them to send that good after you've made a payment. But for everything else, you really need an escrowed payment, which we call a moderated payment. Now in Bitcoin, we do this by using a 2 of 3 multi-signature address. So the construction is that you have three signers, which is the buyer, the seller, and a third-party dispute resolution agent that we call a moderator. Now, we also have a 40-day timeout for payments, but so the way it goes is that if the buyer and the seller have a successful transaction, then they cooperate to release funds for multi-sig and the seller gets paid after the buyer has received the good. But if there is some sort of dispute, then the moderator comes into the discussion and then they side on either the buyer or seller side to release the funds. Now, in integrating Ethereum and ERC20 token payments, if we were to deploy a smart contract for every transaction, that would be grossly inefficient and expensive to do. So it's far more sensible to create one standardized master smart contract that handles all of the escrow logic and state for these kinds of escrow transactions. So we did that, and we replicated the 2 of 3 logic, so it's nice and compatible with how OpenBazaar is working today and the timeout conditions. And the gas costs are really cheap, relatively cheap. So I think for a typical transaction at the normal rate, it's about 25 cents. And if you're willing to wait a few blocks, then it's only about 5 cents. It's pretty good. And we know that we can make that cheaper in future versions of the escrow smart contract. And speaking of future versions, we've also got a registry contract that contains all the latest official versions of the escrow smart contract. So if we have some sort of fix or enhancement to the contract, we can just push the address to the registry contract, and every future escrow transaction with ETH or ERC20 tokens will be made with that updated contract. But with our current one, it's been audited by OpenZeppelin, and we'll be releasing the report of that, I think, sometime next week. But if you want to take a look at the code, the spec, and the unit tests, you can head over to OpenBazaar and look in our smart contracts repository and check it out. So I want to briefly talk about something we're very excited about, because we think about the future of what can we do now that we've got Ethereum and ERC20 token payments integrated into OpenBazaar. And I mean, our vision is very much bringing decentralized money and decentralized marketplaces to, as a consumer level app. So to that end, I want to show you a sneak peek of something we've been working on called Haven. Will it work? All right, yay. So Haven is a mobile app. It runs OpenBazaar as a full node on your mobile phone. So that means when you open the Haven app, it will run a full OpenBazaar node on your device. And that node will connect to other nodes on the OpenBazaar network, and you will be able to buy and sell and publish content to the network. And you'll be able to buy and sell with Ethereum, ERC20 tokens like DAI. I love you, MakerDAO, for making that. And you'll also have access to some other features that we've built into OpenBazaar to create Haven. And this is going to be available on iOS and Android simultaneously. So we're calling it a privacy-focused super app. And it's bringing together lots of elements. We have the classical e-commerce component from OpenBazaar, which is the ability to buy and sell whatever you want in a censorship-resistant way. We also have chat, which is like everything built on top of IPFS. It's end-to-end encrypted. We also have a decentralized social network, also built on IPFS. Unlike all the other decentralized social networks, you don't have to pay anything. You don't have to spend gas or pay some sort of token just to express yourself. So you can use the network to advertise your listings to your potential customers, or just post memes, that's fine. And you also have the multi-currency wallet. Now, I just want to end on talking about the wallet for 1 second, because in our view, the wallet isn't just a place where you go to send and receive funds. It's also a place where we're going to have integrations with third-party services and decentralized, like Ethereum dApps. So imagine a scenario where you've taken all of your ETH from, I don't know, selling My Little Pony memorabilia on Haven, and you've gone over to the wallet and you tap on the Uniswap icon, and you can exchange your ETH for DAI directly into Haven. Or you can take your tokens and your ETH and open a multi-collateral CDP directly from the wallet, or buy an ENS domain directly from the wallet. So the dApp browser is something that we're going to be integrating into the wallet. So basically want to end on saying that for OB1, we are absolutely passionate about privacy and bringing a really polished consumer application that uses cryptocurrency and bringing decentralized markets to the wider community. So we look forward to working with anybody who's developing really interesting dApps that want to be integrated into Haven. You can reach out to us and talk about that, and we'll be publishing some more information on how to do that. So thank you.